Charges laid in a chaotic pursuit through the city, who's accused of smashing into police vehicles and putting public safety at risk. The search for a missing woman marks a difficult anniversary. Her family holds out hope for answers. And could Saskatchewan force people struggling with addictions into treatment?
This is CTV News with Chantel Saunders.
Good evening. We are learning more about the chaotic police pursuit that unfolded on the streets of Saskatoon yesterday morning. Today, the suspect was before the courts facing a string of charges. John Flatters has more.
For more than half an hour on Wednesday morning during rush hour, Saskatoon police were chasing a vehicle being driven recklessly through downtown and residential streets trying to evade police. A little before 8 a.m. Wednesday, police were called when a truck was stolen from crews doing sewer work on Wiggins Avenue. Police found the vehicle, but a chase ensued through residential neighborhoods and school zones. Police say on 2 different occasions, the driver of the stolen vehicle struck a police cruiser on the way towards Circle Drive and the Valley Road off-ramp. There, the vehicle was immobilized and knocked on its side, and police say the driver was taken into custody around 8:30 but was not compliant with officers. He was taken to hospital with injuries consistent with a dog bite. A further investigation determined the suspect was involved in another incident a little before 7 a.m. Police say the suspect assaulted a taxi driver, stole their vehicle, and hit a convenience store on 22nd Street. He allegedly stole an undisclosed amount of cash from inside the store and deployed bear spray before fleeing on foot. As a result, 32-year-old Kaz Kelly Daniel faces 4 counts of assault police with a weapon, 4 counts of robbery, 2 counts of hit and run, as well as 8 other charges. He appeared by phone today and will have a bail hearing on July 14th at 10 a.m. John Flatters, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Now to the latest on the wildfire situation. Late this afternoon, we received word that flames have reached the community of Beauval. The mayor says as of 3 o'clock this afternoon, all residents were evacuated. Just before 5:30, flames from the Muskeg fire reached the community. Firefighters are on the ground trying to protect homes there.
It's just heartbreaking. We couldn't stop it. It's just, this wind is just relentless. These last 4 days, and the fire front was just too big.
It comes as another community has declared a state of emergency because of the wildfires. With the only road to the community closed, the most vulnerable residents are being airlifted out. Stacey Hine with those details.
Pachinak residents wait to be flown to safety as the community declares a state of emergency. While it isn't currently under a direct threat of a wildfire, the only road to the community has been closed for nearly 2 weeks because of the Muskeg fire, causing concerns regarding limited food, water, and power.
It was getting logistically difficult, especially with the road closed. We've had to struggle to get food up to the community quite often.
Now those with serious health conditions and children are being airlifted to Buffalo Narrows, the local friendship center stepping in to help.
We're feeding them, trying to make them feel as comfortable as they can be.
The Friendship Center is expecting to accommodate roughly 200 evacuees while they wait to be bused to Lloydminster. Meanwhile, those considered to be in good health will remain in Pachinak.
Our healthy people will be staying back in the community, and we should be able to keep that many people supplied.
The Saskatchewan Public Safety Agency says it's been working with the community.
It's not a full evacuation. The community will continue to work with us to evaluate the risk and make a decision at a later time if they need to go.
Other communities under evacuation include Beauval, Kineseo, and La Planche First Nation. As of Thursday afternoon, there are 56 active wildfires burning in Saskatchewan. 12 are not contained. Pachinak's emergency management team says they're praying for rain. Stacey Hine, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Meanwhile, the Saskatchewan NDP is calling on the provincial ombudsman to look into what it calls the provincial government's mishandling of the ongoing wildfire situation. MLAs Jordan McPhail and Nicole Saar shared details on a letter being sent to the ombudsman and public interest disclosure commissioner on areas of concern it feels should be part of a promised investigation into the Sask Party's handlings of the fires. They include evacuees who say they've yet to receive any financial assistance and mental health supports for evacuees and first responders, and what the NDP calls an emergency alert system failure.
Last week, we released a 5-pillar plan to rebuild the North. recover, and ensure people can live in dignity. We called on the Sask Party to adopt this plan, but we've heard nothing back from them. That's pathetic.
The government says the Saskatchewan Public Safety Agency remains focused on addressing the impacts of this unprecedented wildfire season. It says it has provided payments to evacuees totaling over $5.6 million, which will reach more than 10,000 people who qualify, including recent evacuees. It also says the SPSA continues to coordinate with communities that have asked for its support. Well, Jeff, communities in the north hoping for rain, but not the lightning or thunder that comes with it.
No, and right now things don't look very promising in terms of beneficial rain to deal with wildfires and help firefighters deal with and get a bit of a handle on some of these things. You can certainly see, yes, there are spotty showers in northern Saskatchewan, but not what we need. We need, we sustained a sustained rain event. It doesn't look as though that's happening for the north. Down south, a different situation. And we've certainly had some nastier active weather across Saskatchewan, making its way through our province into Manitoba and ultimately Ontario. But we're going to keep our eye on that and see if any of the nasty conditions they had in Alberta have made their way into Saskatchewan. More on that later.
Today marks 7 years since a woman from North Battleford was reported missing. Her family and friends marked the anniversary with a walk, hoping someone who knows something will come forward. CTV's Laura Woodward has the story.
A painful anniversary. 7 years since 31-year-old Ashley Morin was last seen at the corner of 96th Street and 16th Avenue in North Battleford. Her family marked the day with a walk, pleading for answers.
I hope that someone sees this and, speaks up. If they know something, we just want you to speak up. We just want to bring her home.
Last month, RCMP carried out a major search, scouring remote riverbanks in the Battlefords.
There was a lot of emotions to go through because, it's always the what ifs.
RCMP say no evidence was found in the search. Investigators say they've chased hundreds of tips, but still don't know what happened to Morin or who's responsible.
We haven't forgot about Ashley. We haven't forgot about, the impact that this has on the family, particularly that we are doing everything we can to try and bring her home to them.
Morin's family is offering a $25,000 reward for information that leads to her whereabouts. Anyone with details should contact RCMP or Crime Stoppers. Laura Woodward, CTV News, North Battleford.
Changes could be coming that would force people struggling with mental health and addictions into treatment. As Keenan Sorokon reports, the Premier says it might be time to start looking at the next steps in battling drug use.
Premier Scott Moe says it's time for the province to consider involuntary treatment for addictions.
To have a serious conversation around ensuring that people are receiving the care that they need, even when they may not be in a position to be able to make those decisions themselves.
The province announced a new plan for homelessness and addictions in 2023. As part of the multi-pronged announcement, more treatment spaces and shelters were planned. The province also transitioned to a recover-oriented system of care instead of the typical 28-day model. Now, Moe is saying the province needs to go further.
There are situations where, individuals just simply aren't in a state to make their own health decisions.
Alberta's Compassionate Intervention Act was passed earlier this year to help severely addicted people who are at risk of hurting themselves or someone else. And BC also opened its first involuntary treatment beds earlier this year. Saskatchewan could be next.
Well, it's one that we're certainly having a look at here in this province as well, with the best interest of individuals in mind.
After charting that new path for homelessness and addictions, uptake for some parts have been slow. Saskatoon hasn't been able to find a suitable spot for a permanent shelter, and both Regina and Saskatoon City Councils faced pushback from residents while choosing other sites. In a 6-month span to start the year, the Saskatoon Fire Department responded to nearly as many overdose calls as they did all of last year, with crews responding to more than 30 calls in a single shift multiple times. Moe says work will continue to strengthen the entire continuum of care, but it's drugs that are affecting community safety the most. Keenan Sorokon, CTV News, Saskatoon.
The founder of a partner chosen for Saskatoon's planned downtown arena is facing federal charges south of the border. Tim Leiweke has been indicted by the U.S. Department of Justice for allegedly orchestrating a conspiracy to rig the bidding process for an arena in Austin, Texas. Leiweke is the CEO of Oakview Group, the private partner chosen by the city to operate the downtown convention center and arena for 25 years once it is built. The city first announced the $170 million deal last year, but OVG representatives did not show up to city council meetings to answer questions. The agreement was then being renegotiated before it was announced this spring. The deal was on hold because of increasing tariff threats from the U.S. Leiweke is alleged to have forced a rival competitor in the Texas arena to back away from its bid and instead receive subcontracts. Leiweke is facing a maximum penalty of 10 years in prison and a $1 million fine. First Nations leaders are calling for answers in the death of an Indigenous man who died in police custody. Sierra D'Souza Butts explains.
Serving his community for 6 years, Gerald Straightnose left a mark on people in Keesakoos.
He was a band counselor. He was a hunter. He always hunted and gave food to the community members, his family members.
In an effort to continue serving the people in his neighborhood, Gerald decided to deal with matters from the past.
He had charges that led back from years ago, and he wanted to deal with them in order for him to get his license back. So he gave himself up willingly to the police, and unfortunately it led to his death.
Less than 48 hours after being taken into custody to Kamsack RCMP detachment, Gerald was unresponsive in his cell. After being checked by RCMP members and EMS arriving on site, he was pronounced deceased.
Nobody deserves to die that way.
Now, his family and neighboring First Nation communities are calling for answers.
We're hoping to start a movement here today to ensure that, something like this does not happen, not only in Kamsack, but across Canada to our First Nations people.
Any family, no matter who you are, when something like this happens, you expect answers. You expect closure. There's a lot of anger, there's a lot of hurt, and rightfully so. Families are hurting, families are sad. This is what we deal with every day.
The Saskatchewan RCMP says it's aware of the event, expressing its sincere condolences to the deceased family and loved ones, adding, because the Saskatchewan Serious Incident Response Team investigation is ongoing, they are unable to provide comment at this time. In a statement, the province says it can't provide additional information about the ongoing CERT investigation, but the province has been in contact with the family and will appoint a community liaison to assist in the investigation, adding the man's cause of death remains under investigation by the Saskatchewan Coroner Service. Family members say they will not stop speaking out until they receive answers and justice. Sierra D'Souza Butts, CTV News, Kamsack.
One person is dead and 3 others injured after a rollover near the Battlefords. RCMP say it happened yesterday morning at the Moosomin First Nation. A 26-year-old man from the community died at the scene. 3 others were sent to hospital, 1 with serious injuries. There is no word on what contributed to the crash. RCMP have been cleared of any wrongdoing after an officer struck a man lying on a road in northern Saskatchewan. An investigation by the Saskatchewan Serious Incident Response Team states that in the early morning hours of August 29th of last year, a 31-year-old man was lying on his back on a highway in the Turner Lake area. CERT says the officer who hit the man was on the way to an unrelated call of another person who was struck by a vehicle. It says it was foggy at the time and the man was dressed in black clothing, making it difficult for the officer to see him. CERT has concluded there were no grounds to believe an offense was committed by a police officer. Saskatoon police have arrested a man who escaped custody north of Saskatoon this week. RCMP say Michael Landry was arrested today on 22nd Street West in Saskatoon. The vehicle he is accused to have stolen was also recovered. Police had been looking for the 39-year-old since Tuesday when he left a work crew along Highway 11 and is accused of stealing a van. Michael Landry, who was serving time at the Saskatoon Correctional Center, is not connected to yesterday's police pursuit in Saskatoon. Almost 5 million unstamped cigarettes have been seized by Saskatchewan RCMP. The Mounties say the bust was made Monday night on Highway 1 near Indian Head when officers pulled over a semi hauling a trailer. During a search of the vehicle, they found 490 boxes with about 4 million unstamped cigarettes. They also seized almost 250 grams of opium. 2 men in their 20s from Ontario are facing a string of charges. The kickoff for Country Thunder is set to kick off tonight with top country talent from around North America and Saskatchewan putting on their performance. Damian Smith has more.
It's the prep work for one of Saskatchewan's staples, Country Thunder, which is making its way to Craven for the 42nd edition. And it hits home for the Hunter brothers, who grew up in Shaunavon.
And Craven is one of those places that, yeah, I would say it's a bucket list item where you want to play on your own turf, you want to play in your own province, and so having this festival being a little bit iconic in our province, it's something that you obviously want to do at some point. So it's been fun to experience both the main stage and the beer garden stage.
It's the third time that the five brothers are performing on these grounds, just 3.5 hours away from Shaunavon.
How many years I've been doing this? I'm 32 years old, and I would say it's been 32 years because we have footage of my mother pregnant singing on stage with me. So literally it's been our entire lives.
While entertainment is the ultimate goal, Country Thunder keeps an eye out for safety, especially during the prime of the summer. The block parents, who have attended since 2004, have a new title around the campground, guiding those who are vulnerable back to their original campsite.
People would wander in, lost, drunk, and I always had like a map on the back of our camper. So I say, okay, you're here. This is where you got to go. And then next thing you know, we had people coming in that were like lost and thirsty. And so we just, here's some water, here's some Gatorade.
The block parents will also walk those lost back to their campsite.
Walking people home was a good start, I think, because I made sure they made it home safe, because I think everyone deserves a safe and happy Craven. So
the festival runs until Sunday, with Def Leppard closing out the main stage, starting at 9:30, where the band Took will play the last show at the Beer Gardens around 11 p.m. Damian Smith, CTV News, Craven.
Still to come, why government employees could be bracing for layoffs, and Canada will hit back against the U.S. president's latest threat. You're watching CTV News live from downtown Saskatoon. Thanks for staying with us. Industry Minister Melanie Joly said Canada will fight back against Donald Trump's 50% tariffs on copper. The U.S. president is threatening to impose the hit August 1st. It comes with 11 days left until the deadline to come up with a Canada-U.S. trade deal. Mike Couture on where negotiations stand today.
The Canadian government is digging in on its vow to push back after the U.S. president announced the date for those copper tariffs late yesterday.
We'll fight against it, period.
A defiant declaration from Canada's industry minister talking about the threat of 50% tariffs on Canadian copper. While meeting the Vancouver Board of Trade, Melanie Joly said protecting jobs remains the government's focus in this trade war.
We denounce these illegal tariffs, and we think that they're a direct attack against our workers and now on in the copper industry, and so we'll fight against them.
While the fight continues on one front, negotiations also continue with the U.S. Today, the Foreign Affairs Minister said she believes a deal can get done before Canada's self-imposed deadline of July 21st.
This is an effort that we are putting all our weight behind. I will say that we are still hopeful that an agreement can be achieved indeed.
But what kind of agreement remains an open question for some trade experts.
We're talking about a full-bore renegotiation of the trade agreement, then I don't think anyone thinks that that can be done in the next 11 days.
It is a hugely asymmetrical relationship.
Deanna Horton should know. She helped negotiate the first North American free trade agreement, and she believes Canada needs to buy some time to expand other trading partnerships.
For every effort that is being made on trade diversification is something that will have to be implemented as quickly as possible, but these things all take time.
It's part of why Minister Anand is in Malaysia right now, pushing to get a free trade deal with a bloc of 10 Southeast Asian nations. Mike Lecouture, CTV News, Ottawa.
Another challenge ahead with government employees bracing for layoffs as the Prime Minister looks to cut back on overall spending. Cabinet ministers have been asked to find a 4.5% savings for the next fiscal year. It has many concerned the cuts are doable, but not without consequences. Abigail Beeman reports.
I have a simple rule: spend less, invest more.
A new promotional video from the Prime Minister addressing what everyone in Ottawa is talking about, the call for big savings.
I will balance our operational budget in 3 years. We'll spend what we need to with the money we already have.
But neither Mark Carney nor his ministers are talking specifics about potential chopping block targets, with a new goal to save $25 billion annually within the next 3 years.
I'm pretty thorough, and I do my homework, and I'm going to do that before I have this type of conversation.
That $25 billion is a very large number.
The president of the Professional Institute of the Public Service of Canada wants to know more, worried about the possibility of cuts to jobs in Canada's meteorological service, warning of serious weather, for example, or food inspectors warning about food safety.
I'm really concerned that, it's not going to be just looking to find people through attrition. It's really going to cut deeply, and I think it really truly will affect service to Canadians.
So net, the actual number of public servants might actually stay the same.
Sahir Khan of the Institute of Fiscal Studies and Democracy does not expect immediate mass layoffs or impacts to services. He says it's more about reallocation to the new government's new priorities.
You're going to see public servants kind of have to go where the money is. So if your area is kind of getting de-emphasized in defense, RCMP, other areas, CBSA are getting emphasized, the money and the jobs are going to go there.
The call to Cabinet to find savings only went out this week with an end-of-summer deadline. We'll have to wait until the fall budget to get some serious specifics. And even then, this budget may not tell the full story. It's likely to be a multi-year exercise. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
The death toll from flash flooding in central Texas is now confirmed at 120, and the number is expected to keep rising. More than 160 people are still missing, including 5 girls and a counselor from a summer camp along the Guadalupe River. Search teams continue their work around the clock, sifting through the wreckage. The property is destroyed, cabins have been leveled, and the office missing. The disaster marks the deadliest inland flooding in the U.S. since 1976. Alberta is moving ahead with new rules that could see certain books removed from the shelves at school libraries. The province says it's specifically targeting sexually explicit material.
This policy gives clear direction for school boards, teachers, and school staff, and provides greater assurances to parents about the kinds of material available to children in school libraries.
Alberta's government says this review came after it was made aware of 4 different coming-of-age graphic novels in school libraries in Edmonton and Calgary. Critics have questioned whether the province is targeting books with LGBTQ2S+ related content. The education minister says the effort was never about erasing particular narratives from school libraries.
Hi, Jaron and Katie here from Channel Theatre. We're currently performing in Stag and Doe by Mark Crawford, one of Canada's most prolific playwrights, July 10th to 20th at the Station Arts Centre.
It's a laugh-filled look at a rural Canadian prenuptial tradition that shines a light on the nature of love and marriage and pops the big question, are weddings just about a single day or a lifetime?
Please join us for a fast, furious, and funny time at the theatre. You can get tickets and find more info at channeltheatre.com.
So Jeff, what's the weather going to be like?
Well, I know you're up and running tonight, and then there's Friday, but let's jump ahead to Saturday when we find out what the weather is going to be like on that day where you have your first 2-performance day. 2 performances on Saturdays and Sundays of Stag and Doe in Rostern. And it looks like it's going to be a pretty nice day on Saturday. 27 degrees, mainly sunny conditions. And yes, you can go to channeltheatre.com to get your tickets. It should be a ton of fun. It's worth the drive from Saskatoon. A beautiful theater there in Rostern at the Station Arts Centre. July 10th to 13th and the 17th to 20th, Stag and Doe is the name of the show. All right, let's take a look at the rest of this show. We've got ourselves a current temperature of 18 degrees. A little, oh, the rain must have just started, and maybe just at the airport. I'll check the weather door. Anyhow, 18 degrees in Saskatoon, 23 in Prince Albert, 19 in the Battlefords. A little breezier in PA and in the Battlefords than it is in Saskatoon, but all relatively moderate winds. Saskatoon's Almanac, 21 for a high, so 4 degrees below seasonal. 37 in 1937. That was the record warm temperature on this date. The record cold temperature on the 10th of July, 4 degrees in 1932. And the sun's going down at 9:25.
Coming up, it's a unique concept intended to ease your mind. So look at a program called Forest Bathing, but it's not what you think.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at our live lens of Skycam. It doesn't look that foreboding, but technically it's raining. There's just a little bit of a spitting rain right now, at least in downtown areas. I'm not sure what it's like at the airport. But all in all, we are anticipating, yes, there's still a chance of some shower activity as we make our way into the evening hours. But it's other parts of the province that are seeing a lot more in the way of active weather. Central, south of Saskatoon and down towards the Regina and the international border, a lot more active weather there. Right now, it doesn't look as though it's impacted Regina significantly, but we'll have to wait and see if there's been other parts of southern Saskatchewan that have had thunderstorm activity and maybe some of the nastiness that goes along with that. Saskatoon, 18 degrees, 23 in Prince Albert, and 19 in the Battlefords. The hot spot in the province today, Coronach at 30 degrees. Yesterday, they were 38. Still, they're the hot spot today at 30. Meadow Lake, the cold spot at 8. Around the province we go, starting off with the larger communities. 19 degrees in Lloydminster, 13 in Swift Current, 18 in Regina, 23 in Yorkton, and 2 degrees warmer than that in Estevan. In central parts of the province, it's 23 in Meadow Lake at 16 in Kindersley, 17 in Rosetown, 19 in Wynyard, 23 in Hudson Bay, and 22 in Waskesiu and Nipawin. Up north, well, temperatures in the high teens for Stony Rapids, Collins Bay, and South End. 15 right now in Key Lake, but it warms up to 20, and that's in Buffalo Narrows and La Ronge. 21 in Sandy Bay, Island Falls. And down south, where you can certainly see where that rain has gone through in southern Saskatchewan. It's cooled things off significantly, but still relatively warm in Weyburn and Carlisle and Broadview. Temperatures hanging around 25 degrees, 21 in Indian Head, 23 in Melville. On to our futurecast. Well, here's what I'm talking about. The rest of that storm sort of bubbling up into parts of southeastern Saskatchewan, so we'll have to keep our eye on that. It's also moving into parts of Manitoba and Ontario, and so once again, they could be dealing with some of the active weather there. For Saskatchewan, we are mostly dealing with air quality alerts and warnings. A different situation for parts of Alberta and Manitoba right now. You can see down towards the international border, there is a tornado warning in effect for southern Manitoba, and we'll keep our eye on that as the evening goes along. Around the province we go. 26 degrees in La Ronge and Stony Rapids and Key Lake for tomorrow. 27 for Buffalo Narrows. Temperatures hanging around that 25 or 26 degree mark for west central Saskatchewan under sunny or mainly sunny skies. A similar temperature pattern for southwestern Saskatchewan. 23 in Swift Current, 23 as well in Moose Jaw, 22 in Regina, and close to that in Yorkton and Estevan. Throughout the southeast, anticipating showers as we saw on the Futurecast computer modeling. Temperatures of 24 or 23 degrees for east central Saskatchewan under mainly cloudy skies. Dropping down to 11 degrees in the Battleford tonight. Still a chance of showers and a risk of a thunderstorm. A mainly sunny Friday is in store with a high of 25, 27 on Saturday, and a chance of showers on Sunday and Monday, and then cooling off a bit and then bouncing back by the time we get to Thursday. A slight chance of showers, risk of a thunderstorm for Prince Albert. Then the smoky air continues to move in. The smoke continues to move in, and the air quality index keeps rising, and so that means a greater risk is what we're dealing with. So 10 plus tomorrow is what we're dealing with. 27 on Saturday, Sunday 24, and possibly a wet start to the work week. In Saskatoon's overnight temperature 12 with a chance of showers and a risk of a thunderstorm. Tomorrow, mainly sunny skies, but still some of that wildfire smoke making its way into the Saskatoon area. So an air quality index of 6, which is on the moderate side of things. 27 on Saturday, and possibility of some showers on Sunday and Monday.
Paula Cole is one of the many artists performing at the Sasktel Saskatchewan Jazz Festival, which continues until Saturday.
Jailer! What is it, Jailer? I don't know what happened. You mean to tell me Yagos escaped?
First seen in 2022, Iago Speaks is heading to the prestigious Edinburgh Fringe Festival. To help with travel costs, they're staging a fundraising performance on the USask campus on Saturday evening. For details, search Iago Speaks on Instagram. The Denim Daddies will be performing in Manitou Beach as part of the Salt Shaker, and they're not alone. 13 other acts are on the bill, plus there's drive-in movies and karaoke, Friday until Sunday.
Because you know I'm all about the bass, no treble.
Friday night, TCU Place welcomes Scott Bradley's postmodern jukebox, contemporary songs performed in earlier styles. The Tempestuous, a mashup of Shakespeare plays from Fringe Festival favorite Penny Ashton, can be seen Friday evening at Free Flow Dance Center. Tuesday at 8 o'clock, Winona Judd brings her greatest hits tour to TCU Place.
This is nuts.
Treat yourself to a pair of big movies on the big screen at the Roxy. Close Encounters of the Third Kind Tuesday night, and then Wednesday, it's this Oscar winner.
All's fair in love and business. Whose side are you on? Side I'm always on. Mine.
Dick Tracy, starring Warren Beatty, Al Pacino, and Madonna, is celebrating its 35th anniversary.
We all know somebody, right, that has sadly taken their life. You feel like, you know, somehow we missed it.
Deep Rooted, a new documentary exploring mental health in Canadian agriculture, will be shown at the Broadway Theatre on Wednesday with a panel discussion to follow. Free admission, but donations are welcome. Proceeds support the Do More Agriculture Foundation and Sask Ag Matters.
All right, Jeff, time for Pick of the Day. What do you have?
Well, we've got three as per usual. Let's start off with this one. It's all about the critters today, the creatures of our planet Earth, the big blue marble. This comes to us from Paul and Bob, and she tells us, Paula tells us, I spotted this beautiful morning cloak butterfly on the spruce tree in front of our house. I'm truly amazed at the exquisite markings on the wings of this stunning creature, and it is a lovely shot, and thank you for identifying it, because there are a lot of different butterflies out there. The next one comes to us from Kay, and we were relaxing at our campsite and looking up to see this beautiful elk right beside us. This was at the Beaver Glen Campground in Waskesiu. What a beautiful animal. It looks like it's got some velvet on its antlers, so that's a young'un, so there you go. And this last one comes from Sylvia. Yes, more critters. Our friendly goslings growing up so fast, taken on June 30th at Tisdale. So thank you for Sylvia for sharing that picture with us, and thank you for everyone sending in pictures, and we try and get to as many as we can, folks. CFQC News at ctv.ca is the website to send them to.
Still to come on CTV News, how important is the World Men's Softball Championship for the Gateway City? But up next, reconnecting with nature through forest bathing. Life in the city can be hectic, stressful, and overwhelming for some. A new program from the city of Edmonton is hoping to help people reconnect with the nature that exists around them and with themselves through something called forest bathing. But as Connor Hogg reports, it's not what you think.
Mere minutes from the hustle and bustle of the city, guides are preparing to assist this group through the experience of forest bathing.
You're entering a separate place, a space that you can really hold for yourself.
When I first heard about forest bathing, I was like, are there going to be like bathtubs? What is it?
That is a common reaction. There will be no actual bathing in water during the session.
Forest bathing comes from the Japanese practice of Shinrin-yoku, a type of forest therapy. The city-run program is in its first week. It's paid for by the federal government's 2 Billion Trees initiative.
Choose an invitation that calls to you. You can take a moment to figure out what feels good.
Sessions are made up of invitations, prompts to focus on exploration, meditation, or reflection.
I'm not artistically inclined, but I decided to draw what I was seeing, and I was actually impressed with what I was able to do.
I think a lot of people who come to this practice are just hoping for a bit of relaxation and are often kind of surprised by the feelings that it can bring up.
Immersing oneself in the forest, in the woods, opening the senses and finding a real nature connection to decompress from urban life.
People have had pretty profound reactions. Sometimes people are even brought to tears because they reflect on impermanence or imperfection and relate that to themselves.
Slowing down to focus on the things many pass by.
I have learned that it's okay to take moments every day to find calm. I'm much better at making space for myself.
Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
When we come back, the Gateway City cashes in on a big sporting event, then shopping in style. The stores move outside.
All right, welcome back, and let's take a look at tomorrow's numbers. Well, today, a little cooler. Tomorrow, back to being on the warm side of seasonal, and mainly sunny conditions for many locations. Temperatures sort of hovering around that 26-degree mark north and south of the Yellowhead as we make our way to the western side of the province. On the eastern side of the province, well, a little cooler, but still relatively nice. Wynyard might see some of that rain, 23 degrees as we make our way into southern Saskatchewan. A bit rainier, but that is south central and southeastern Saskatchewan. The southwest, look at that, 26 degrees in Maple Creek and Leader, 23 for East End. Rockland, 23, as is Coronach. But Pilot Butte, Assiniboia, Lumsden, Kenora, Broadview, and Carlisle, all in this part of our map, expecting some sort of shower activity. And Carlisle, it comes with the extra situation of a possible thunderstorm. So let's take a look at Strasbourg for tomorrow. Well, Strasbourg is expecting to have some of that shower activity, but in the morning, and then things clear off late in the afternoon, and expecting a daytime high of 22 degrees. So not too bad after all. And Strasbourg is where internet plans of up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel.
Thousands of sports fans have converged in the Gateway City to watch the world's best softball players, and Prince Albert is reaping the benefits. The WBSC Men's Softball World Cup is taking place at Prime Minister's Park with 8 international teams taking part. While there's action on the diamond, there's also a buzz in the stands and across the city. The mayor says it's an honor to host such a prestigious event.
The hotels are packed, the restaurants are packed, the volunteers and the families and the supporters. This is truly a big event and a big economic boost for the city.
Team Canada is in action tonight against Argentina, the #1 ranked team in the world. The World Championships wrap up Sunday with the gold medal game at 2 p.m. The injuries are piling up for the Riders this season, with several starters expected to miss multiple games. But as Donovan Mace explains, it's opening the door for one defensive back to make his first CFL start tomorrow night.
It's been a long road to the CFL for defensive back Antoine Brooks Jr.
Football is it's a marathon, not a sprint. And so I just kept saying that in my head.
In 2020, Brooks was a 6th-round NFL draft pick, bouncing between the active and practice rosters on the Steelers and LA Rams before moving to the CFL, signing with the Riders last April. Again, spending the majority of his time on the PR.
I had a couple, anger issues, trying to, cope with the, not playing. But that's everybody just because of the love of football. I really love football to death.
But in week 4, years of hard work culminating in one play. Making this interception to seal a win over the BC Lions.
I really didn't see it coming. I just played football, and plus the pick it was something.
And this Friday night, Brooks will be rewarded with his first CFL start when the Riders host Calgary. But still, he remains remains humble, crediting his teammates and coaching staff for their belief.
Like, I always try to make the little things, and I think they see that I'm trying to get better, so they encourage me to, be okay, to keep your patience.
You love seeing guys being rewarded for their hard work and their patience sometimes, and he definitely falls in that category. Man, just excited for the guy to go out there and have that moment.
Donovan May, CTV News, Regina.
Another Saskatchewan bull rider is performing well at the Calgary Stampede.
Calgary Stampede champ, and he's got a great draw. This bull right here now, he's just going to come back to the left, and this is going to be a day off for Dakota. When they turn back like this, kicking and spinning, I think we just see our new leader right now, guys.
Dakota Butter, a former Stampede champion from Etonia, scored 85.5, good enough for first in Pool C today, earning him $7,750. He was 2 more rides tomorrow and Saturday to qualify for the final on Sunday. Leaders Grady Young has already qualified for Sunday. Also today in junior steer rising, Maple Creek's Cecil Bainton and Dayton Cronkite finished 2nd and 3rd. Bainton earning $2,500, Cronkite $1,500. Rain and warm temperatures are helping crops in some parts of the province, while others are dealing with dry conditions, causing rapid development and yield concerns. According to the provincial crop report, 55% of cropland topsoil moisture is considered adequate, 43% for hayland, and 33% pasture topsoil moisture. Livestock producers are making progress with hay. 28% has been cut, 22% has been baled or silaged, 50% remains standing. As for quality, 59% is considered excellent or good quality. Grasshoppers are now making an appearance in the field, causing crop damage along with gophers and cabbage seed pod weevils. The company that makes Nutella is buying the company that makes Frosted Flakes. Marella Fernandez has the details of the deal.
Call it a sweet deal. The Italian company Ferrero is buying the American company WK Kellogg. The Ferrero Group will pay more than $3 billion U.S. to try and expand its presence in North America. Ferrero owns Nutella, O. Henry, and Kinder, and with this deal, will add cereals like Rice Krispies and Fruit Loops to its roster. News of the deal sent Kellogg shares up 30% during the trading day. And here's how the day ended. The Canadian dollar is up to 73.13. West Texas Intermediate is up $1.50 to 66.88. Our fix on Western Canadian Select has it up to 56.38. And the TSX shot up another 109 points to 27,082. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marella Fernandez.
Coming up, forget heading indoors to do your shopping. And the legacy of Terry Fox continues to grow.
Select Hair Services brought to you by Sage, the beauty bar.
Stay with us for another great night of television here on CTV coming up tonight at 7, starting with Transplant. Well, the legacy of Terry Fox will live on. His brother completed a cross-country bicycling trek in honor of his older sibling. The National Ride of Hope pulled into St. John's today, raising more than $1 million for the Terry Fox Foundation. The ride is, of course, inspired by Terry's Marathon of Hope that captivated Canadians 45 years ago. Daryl Fox cycled for about 7,000 kilometers, retracing his brother's footsteps in reverse. He concluded the ride in the very spot where Terry started his journey. It's nice to see. That's a big
45 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hard to believe. All right, well, deal hunters are out in full force in downtown Saskatoon. The annual downtown sidewalk sale along 2nd Avenue began this morning. Shoppers can find everything from clothing to shoes, jewelry, art, and more. There's also a kid venture zone where youngsters can bounce, paint, craft, and play. People can also find some good eats and entertainment. The sale runs 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. through to Saturday. So
bargains galore.
Yeah, and the rain didn't keep people away, which is
no, it didn't. It was spitting a little bit. It kept us away, though.
Well, we're going tomorrow.
There you go.
Where there's better temperatures.
Absolutely. Yes, there are better temperatures, and let's take a quick look at that. First of all, just a reminder about the air quality issues in Saskatchewan because of the wildfire situation. I know the risk is going up to 10 plus on the scale in the Prince Albert area, so please be careful. Take a look at temperatures tomorrow for Saskatoon, though. 17 by 9 a.m. by noon, 20 degrees, mainly sunny conditions, staying mainly sunny and 23, and not particularly windy.
I see that.
La-di-da.
All right. Thanks for watching. Have a great night.